So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, Dai here from Zephyr Games, and again, as you can hear, I haven't fully recovered, but again, it was not going to stop me bringing you, don't worry, I'm going to get the lemon, honey and ice and tea going. Anyway, I'm bringing you an update to the Unchained deck on a budget again as well, because what I'm trying to get while this meta is wide open is giving you as many budget options as possible thanks to Ignition Assault and all the cards preceding that as well. So you can easily get them all in one place as they are new. They are very, very good and can disrupt in the right ways. And they've also had a nice little introduction with brand new cards as well. So without further ado, because I don't want to strain the voice too much, I'm going to get started on the profile for you. So, we played two of the brand new Abominable Unchained Soul. Now, if you watched our lore video, you'll see that this is the one that started it all. What's also very, very good is in Ignition Assault Special Editions, we do get the brand new Dark Fiend Twin as well. And that is very, very good because it allows you to recur stuff from the graveyard. So, I'm telling you, pick this deck out, it's going to be incredibly fun. Anyway, you can only special summon one Abominable Chain itself once per turn. If a card or cards you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can discard one card, destroy one card on the field. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but place it at the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. It is a 3k beta, so it gives you a bit more aggression. It also recycles itself. Not to mention, if you combo this off with enough spells and traps, if you used, for example, the Water Twin, popped a card, special on the Water Twin, this card will then trigger, summon itself. Then it will also trigger bringing out the other big level 8 from the graveyard. So you can go into rank 8 plays as well. Not to mention, this can then discard a card, pop a card. So if you've got another one of your spells and traps, pop one again and bring out the Fire Twin. You now have the ability to make 2 of the Link 2s should you need to. Not that you would, it's a little bit overkill, but it can actually really, really disrupt your opponent. It also lets you go straight into the Link 4 should you need to, or climb higher in different ways. We then play 2 Unchained Soul of Disaster. Everyone should know what this one does now. This is the one that was more forcefully brought out from deck, purely because we didn't have this guy right now. So this is more important, but you still want to bring this from deck, just because you need a Unchained Soul to get your Link monsters climbing. Very, very important still to play. And the best thing about both these cards is because they are level 8 fiends, they can be looped with the spirits, which is exactly what we're playing because I think the interaction is so fun. And the way this works is you can bring this one back and this will actually destroy your opponent's monsters. So with this one, if you brought it back into attack, you'd have to have enough Unchained cards in the graveyard to do a lot. You put it in defense, they take damage, they'll still keep their monster. With this one, you bring it back, 3k beta, they're going to have to crash straight into it. They're going to lose their monster and take that damage. So it's beautiful. We then play triple Unchained Twin YUGIOH. This is the water one. Again, you should know what these do by now. These are all straightforward. You need to max out on these because they get their effects. Sorry, Adhora is the special summoner and the YUGIOH is the quick play pop a card special summon one from deck. If you are out there and you want to keep True Drakers alive, this is probably one of the engines you will have to do it. Please don't. Leave them where they are. Find a new deck to play. But yeah, this is one way of doing it. I have stopped with the trap variant because I love the interaction too much. Double Lilith and, thank you, double Tour Guide. Tour Guide at 2. Yes. Tour Guide, not only can it bring out your Unchained Twins, it can also bring out your Lilith, or it can bring out your Dark Spirits. And what I love best about this, if it brings out the Dark Spirit, the combo you can do is you link up your Tour Guide into your Tour Guide and Malice into Cherubini. Cherubini's effect goes off to send banishment. Now both your spirits are in the graveyard. If you have a way to extend using your Adhara and the any of your spells and traps, the Unchained spells and traps, you go into the level 8. You then get to link climb into your Unchained Soul of Rage. So your board is ending on a Cherubini plus an Unchained Soul of Rage, or if you wanted to go a little bit further, you could do. And then, because the level 8 goes to the graveyard, you get to add Malice and Banishment back to your hand. So you can stop a monster effect and revive a level 8, and you can if they declare an attack on you, you can send banishment, bring back the level 8, whether it be the boss monster or the Unchained Soul of Anguish. Bring that back, and then your opponent's going to have to attack straight into that. So it sets up your hand advantage as well. Very, very cool. On to the most disappointingly named card. If this was an Unchained card, even better, but it's not. So Abomination Prison, this is your rotor of the deck. It's a hard once per turn, so once you've used it once, if you have multiples, this is one of the first targets you want to be popping to then get extension plays off of it as well. Now, I've only got 2 Call by the Grave. You can play 3 if you want. You probably should play 3. I am at 41 cards. If I was going to take anything down, I'd probably take Compulse down, just to put a 3rd one in. We'll then play the 1 Wailing of the Unchained, the 1 Monster Reborn, and the 1 Pot of Avarice. Now, because we do a lot of recurrence from the graveyard right now, the only reason you're going to be using your Pot of Avarice is to recycle your Liliths, your Tour Guides, and some of your Unchained cards or Unchained monsters. You ideally want the level 8s in the graveyard because they're going to be doing that themselves anyway. It's just a bit more of resource management. You could easily put in Extravagance if you want to, or Desires, depending on what you value less, your extra deck or your main deck. Or you can be an upstart, entirely up to you. But I think play Extravagance as much as you can while you can. Onto the traps, triple Escape of the Unchained, quite straightforward and simple on that one. Triple Abominable, Chamber of the Unchained. Triple Trap Trick, because Trap Trick can search out all of your traps, apart from one, and I'll explain to that one when we get to it. Triple Compulse. Double Torrential Tribute, because sometimes you don't want to blow up your stuff. I'd rather Compulse than TT, depending on what I've got. Double Magical Hats, again, shout out to Gilgamesh who suggested this in the previous profile. Awesome card, very, very fun. It basically allows you to, if you trigger it at the end of the battle phase, it's going to destroy 2 of your spells and traps, which basically sets your board up ready to go for the next turn. Because then you can use the big level 8 to link with one of your opponent's monsters, to go into the link 2 or link 3, and then the link 3 can steal another one of your monsters to go into link 4, and then link 4 can start popping stuff. So Magical Hat's awesome. And then on one trap, you can't search on for Trap Trick because it is Waking the Dragon. Now the way this works is you reveal it off of Lilith, and then it kind of deters your opponent from trying to pop your back row. You can take it out. It is a 41 card deck, like I said. This is just there as a bit of deterrent, but you know, because you're playing this heavy back row version, that your opponent is going to start siding in Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclones and stuff like that. So you can put, at the moment we haven't put them in here, but Waking the Dragon and stuff like that in your extra deck. Because with this, that is just more of a deterrent. I'm not going to rely on it, and I don't want to take up an extra deck space for it right now. But going forward, you could easily put more Waking the Dragons in if you're going to focus on your heavy back row. Let your opponent try and destroy them, and then say hello to Mr. Ultimate Falcon, basically. For the extra deck, we do play, of course, triple Unchained Soul of Rage. This is the one that gets everything going. You can play a 2 if you want. I feel that 3 is kind of necessary. Is the one that gets everything going. It's only like 7 or 8 quid as well, so it's nice and cheap. Double Unchained Soul of Anguish. This is the one that you'd use during your turn, so it doesn't destroy your opponent too much, but it does allow you to link climb into this bad boy. And this can come down to 2 should you want to put in your Ultimate Falcon or more Waking the Dragon targets. So Abomination is just there as the 3k boss monster, pop 3 cards per turn basically. And then of course we've got the 1 Cherubini. I hope this, I haven't checked, so if it has rocketed in price, it's probably the most expensive card off the deck. It's still worth getting. Like I said, you use Tour Guide and one of the spirits go into this. This will send the other spirit, and it allows you to bring them back as well. It's not a necessity, it's just a nice little combo to work with that. And then you've got your Nightmares, because these are Fiends as well. If you do want to pay an IP Masquerina, you can do, but remember you do lock yourself into Fiends sometimes as well. But you can go into Unicorn during your opponent's turn with your Unchained Soul of Rage, and that can be another form of disruption, which is really, really cool. And then your Borrow Sword just as an additional boss monster to finish the game off, but you would have already had to pre-prep your board in order to use this, because like I said, you lock yourself into Fiends, so you've got to be careful. And then Super Poly for the side, we do have 3 Super Poly targets. Again, it really comes down to what you value more. If I want to put Super Poly in the main deck, I can do. These spaces could be free Waking the Dragon targets. It's entirely up to you right now. But the way I see it is, if game 1 my opponent hits my Waking the Dragon, I can either bring up my Unchained Soul of Rage, and that gives me an additional form of disruption, or I can go straight for my Unchained Abomination, and then that can start popping during the end phase as well. It really depends on when they hit you, but you do have a lot of targets that can be very, very useful in order to disrupt your opponent. and like I said, deter them from popping your back row. Basically, leave my back row alone. And that is it. It is a budget, like I said. All of the Unchained cards crashed in price hard, which is great for all of you players out there. Tour Guide came back to 2, which is great because it got a bit more of additional consistency if you want to be playing the spirits. And I love the spirits, they're only like 3-4 quid each, so it's great to have them floating around as well. And like I said, in the special editions of Ignition Assault, we do get the Unchained twin, or the brand new Unchained twin as well. So, I hope you like this. I hope it's kept it on a budget for you guys as well. If you want to put more expensive cards in, like I said, you can play around with the BLS link. You go with main super polys, with extravagances and stuff like that. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And as always, guys, happy dueling.